Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel. You're here with your GBHL host.
Wait.
Oh, did I do it wrong? Did I not say video again?
No, it's not that. It's quite tricky. I was just wondering.
Yep.
I know that we normally do this as just the two of us.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. It's great. Obviously great. Yeah. But there's been a couple of times when it's worked quite well. I think as a threesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted James to be in it?
That's not exactly what I was thinking this week. I mean, maybe at some point in the future. I think it's a good idea. But I was actually just thinking that maybe this week, at last, she could be in it.
Well, I mean, she is in it. She's in the sketches, right?
Yeah, but only very briefly, and I don't think people have really got to know her. You know.
Okay. No, I thought haven't there been comments?
Yeah, like there was a couple of comments in the
Okay.
the last video actually just saying that they'd like to see more of her.
See more? Okay.
I just think maybe.
But this is it's a whole hour show.
Yeah.
I mean, the sketch is just a small bit. It's easy enough to manage, right?
Yeah, I know. It's tricky because I'm just getting the impression that every week she comes and helps us be in the sketch, and she's appeared there, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come up here and sit and do our thing for an hour, and I think it's starting to get to her.
What?
Well, I don't think I think she feels that maybe she's earned GBHL status, and that maybe we should be involving her more in the day-to-day running the show.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Tom.
It's a big decision, right?
Yeah, I know, but the problem is you get to live here all the time. You get to come over a night a week and record it, and when you go, the two of us are here all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we spend a lot of time together when I'm here.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, and I think she's kind of reacting to that and thinking, you guys are spending time together. Why can't I be a part of that? And I think this is a part of our life or my life that she doesn't get to be a part of, and I think it's starting to cause a bit of a problem.
Problem?
But yeah, like I've been working late a fair bit recently, and coming in quite late at night, and a lot of times she's just sitting there like staring at me.
Just staring?
Yeah, just sitting staring. And you get the. Well, that sounds stupid, but you get the impression maybe she's just been sitting there all day.
Well, I'm sure she's been doing something.
Yeah, probably she's got to go out, but it just feels sometimes like she's literally just sitting there waiting, hoping that we get to spend some decent time together. And I think doing this week in, week out is starting to cause a bit of trouble.
Okay. I mean, what's brought all this on?
It's just, I think it's something that I need to fight for because, I think I really, really love her.
I mean, I should hope so, right?
Yeah, but I think it's important.
Okay. Well, if it's important to you, mate, let's just get her here on the sofa, right?
I'm not sure she'll fit.
You could scooch up a bit.
Yeah, but she's pretty big.
Big?
Yeah. She's been eating a lot recently.
Okay.
I'll try that.
You can try? Okay.
Yeah, if that's alright.
Yeah, go for it.
Cheers, man. That really means a lot. I think she'll finally getting her moment in the spotlight already. She'll be sitting there wagging her tail.
Wagging, metaphorically, right?
Oh, yeah, both.
Okay.
Cheers, mate. I'll let her know.
Okay. What I've been doing this week with my hobby blog. Making nice little houses. Just like it's dinosaurs. Where is he? Damian?
Go. That's my girl. Yeah. No. You said you could be in the video, Daisy. Good news, isn't it? No. So exciting. Mean old Tom will let you be in the video now. Don't go to sleep, darling. Come on, don't go to sleep. You gotta come up. Come up and be in the video. Yeah? You alright?
What on earth are you doing?
Just, Gbhl Daisy.
You're talking about her?
Who else are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Your wife?
Your wife?
Should just start, right?
Not what I asked for.
It's a compromise, right?
I hate you. Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another Gbhl YouTube video. You're here with your host, Gbhl Damian.
And Gbhl Tom.
And we are here with episode 11 of
The Palantir.
Oh, yes. How you doing, Tom?
Good.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
No, very well, thank you very much.
Good. Glad we got that
No
over done
seething problems
No?
rolling away under the surface at all.
Good.
We are here, as ever, with another week of kind of news and comment reviews and gossip and chat to get you through some painting for about an hour.
Yep. That's the plan.
Dear. That's the
Palantir.
Dear.
Oh, that's good.
Plan here. What's that mean? As ever, we are sponsored by tea.
Sponsored by tea.
Indeed. So we're not actually sponsored by tea, in case anyone's watching this. So cheers. Who's the tea toast to this week?
The tea toast is to Tom Macklin.
Tom Macklin, really?
Hey.
Because, yep, if you missed out, what's now happening is that we are passing the tea toast on from person to person. So
Yep.
Tom Macklin was nominated by Tom Pickard.
Yep.
So Tom Macklin, it is yours this week. Use it wisely and nominate someone else to be tea toasted to. So for mug review this week, Tom.
I've got flake again, sorry.
It's another Easter egg. For myself, we have a Rock and Rose mug.
It says food, passion, glamour.
Yep, it's the story of my life.
Yeah.
And it's a mug about me.
Minus the glamour part.
Yeah, and the passion. Food though. And Rock and Rose is a restaurant in Richmond. Have you ever been there with us? Have you ever done that?
No.
Yeah, if you're ever in Richmond upon Thames in South West London, there's a very, very lovely restaurant.
If you're ever in Richmond.
Why is that funny? Sometimes people will be in Richmond.
Okay, fine.
There's a very, very lovely restaurant there called Rock and Rose, where me and Emma like to go for our anniversary and that sort of thing, because it's a bit pricey, but it is wonderful. And for some reason we have a mug from there. I honestly don't know why. I think we should forewarn people. We're running out of mugs. I'm brutally honest. We're now every week.
I'm going to have to bring a crate over.
We're now looking at the back of the cupboard and trying to find some mugs. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the mug review might be not long for this world.
It will be.
It will be, it'll be fine. Yeah, absolutely fine.
Just send us free mugs.
Yeah, buy more mugs. Yeah, absolutely. So, as ever, this week on the Palantir, these are just our thoughts and our opinions.
Yep.
They do not really reflect the views of the Gbhl channel or the Gbhl League.
Nope.
Got lots to talk about this week. Some very exciting stuff,
Yeah.
which will, I'm sure you're all aware because it's going out on Friday.
Yes.
So I know what you're all very excited about right now, and we're recording this on Tuesday, and the news and the pictures, shall we say for now, broke a couple of hours ago. So, oh yes, we're going to be having a little discussion about that later on, as well as some topics suggested by our viewers.
Yep. So yeah, thanks again for all your comments last week. Obviously it was a pretty long episode last time out doing the trailer breakdown. I hope you enjoyed that. I think Damien nearly died editing that. 81
screenshots.
Now I don't know how long you think that would take, but it took him longer than he was expecting.
It did take me longer than I was expecting. Turns out the first trailer that I did a while back was before we were doing a Palantir every week, and it was a slower paced trailer, there were less shots, and it was physically shorter as well. It was a hideous experience. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. It seemed to get a lot of good responses, because I hated that video with a fiery passion. I hate the Palantir, I hate the trailer, and I hate everything
what was
that
it?
video.
Scene some 81, the running scene. Which one is it in the Hobbit? The first one.
I've seen 88.
88. That's it.
Yeah, where they're running across the woodland. Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit like that.
And Council of Elrond.
I thought I was getting near the end of the trailer at one point, and then it turned out I had another 40 screen grabs to go. It's not doing the screen grabs, you understand, it's putting them in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, horrible. Let's never, ever, ever do another trailer breakdown for anything.
Well, I don't think there's going to be another one.
Thank God.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously lots of long comments. We can't go through all of it, but just a few bits that we picked out. Quite a few people interested in who's going to kill who.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we discussed that. One of the big things is who's going to kill Azog, and I think
Spoilers,
yes.
by the way.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
This is a spoiler warning. We, not for the films, we don't know, but
yeah.
certainly from the book.
Yeah. So you suggested that Thorin would kill Azog.
Me.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Thorin must kill Azog.
Yeah.
But I think there's been some differences in opinion. Ian Marley thinks that Dane will do it to give him a reason to become king under the mantle.
Yep.
And Billy Fitzmaurice thinks it's going to be Beorn.
Kind of with Azog taking Bolg's place.
Yes.
Essentially from the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's already
all
expressed
answers.
that animosity towards, I guess,
Yes.
Azog's kind.
Yeah. I mean, the tricky thing with Dane, I can't remember from when we discussed this, is that, I don't think we talked about this last week because he's not in the trailer, that Dane's going to come in probably about halfway through the film,
Yeah.
and then he's going to become king.
Yeah.
And to a movie-going audience, that's really weird.
Yeah.
This film is going to mess up people who haven't read the book.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's a really, really weird ending. You have the trilogy, go, Thorin's good. Think about Lord of the Rings. Imagine if, right at the end of Return of the King, Aragorn dies.
And Legolas and
then
Gimli.
Legolas and Gimli die around him. And then some other king, his cousin comes in and goes, I'll rule Gondor.
Yeah.
That's really tough.
Yeah, Halbrand rocks
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, sorry, who's Halbrand? And that's fair play to Peter Jackson, Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh, however they're going to do it, because that's a tough storytelling thing, and that's quite how you convince an audience. Because Tolkien basically realises he has a problem and just wipes out the line of Durin.
Yeah.
That's why those three die.
Yeah.
He goes, right, well, if I want Dane to be king, God knows why I want Dane to be king. But he's like, I've got to better slaughter those three. And that's going to be a real bleak kind of. It's going to be a hard film to end on a high, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, quite what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, especially as other characters may die as well.
Yeah, so I don't think they need it.
No.
Frankly, I hope Tariel goes and skips off into Mirkwood forever.
Yeah, and
have you seen the rumour thread, by the way? This is of interest.
Mm-hmm.
This is quite interesting.
Yeah.
If you go onto the OneRing.net, you can follow it through. Someone on Reddit, I think it is claiming to have seen the film, so potentially one of those 150 fans who obviously signed NDAs. But he's essentially doing a Q&A spoilers thing. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there, and then there's a lot of people saying, you're a liar, you haven't seen any of it. And I don't know, there's some stuff in there that I probably won't mention now in case it is true, because they would be film spoilers if they are true. Yeah. But there's some quite kind of outlandish stuff in there. So if you are interested in that, go and read it. I am inclined to think it's not true. Okay, yeah. But that was a kind of interesting thing that caused a bit of debate across the interwebs, so last few days.
Yeah. Also, obviously, we've said briefly about Dane and Beorn, who aren't in the trailers. Radagast isn't either. Some people thinking he's not even going to be there. He's just going to be in the extended edition. But I think they've invested the time into him in the first two.
He's got to be in there.
There was an interesting idea that it's actually Saruman who kills Radagast. Stabs him in the back.
Stabs him in the back.
Yeah.
And that was the phrase, wasn't it?
Either physically or metaphorically, whichever way round it is.
Because he's got to stop. He's got to tell Galadriel. That's where he's gone off to. That's got to be very early in the film. He goes, "Oi, go on, Gandalf." Yeah, and then what's he do? Oh, here's my staff. Bye. Going down the pub. So yeah, that was Patrick Campbell's idea. There was also a comment from someone about Saruman being Matt Rondo, which I think
they're
was
just teasing
hilarious.
us. It's the last film. Boom, gone. You're not in the final film, Christopher Lee. Sorry.
Because quite famously, Saruman's death scene from Lord of the Rings was meant to be at the end of Two Towers, And at the end of that, they then said, this is a really long talky scene at the end of the film. We'll put it in Return of the King. And apparently Christopher Lee got very excited because he got to be in Return of the King. And then they cut him out of the theatrical edition. And he's furious. And if you go and watch the documentaries, the behind-the-scenes stuff, he's really still not over it.
No.
And there's a proper interview with him where he's sitting down and he goes, and I don't understand why they did it, and I won't understand why they did it. And, you know, they put him back in the theatrical edition.
In the extended edition.
Yes, sorry, in the extended edition. But that would be hilarious. But I don't
I don't think they'll rip him up the wrong way again.
God almighty.
Yeah. Another, going back to the Azog thing, another interesting one was from that guy 513, who suggested that Bilbo would do a Merry essentially and stab him, but I guess with the ring on. So like Merry stabs the Witch King to help kill.
He's already kind of done that, hasn't he? At the end of the first one.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to do that for his character.
He definitely goes to save him.
Yeah.
We talked about this, didn't we, in the trailer
Yeah,
breakdown,
yeah,
that he's
yeah.
the one who goes, and he's there at Ravenhill. We've seen shots of him with Dwalin fighting those big half-orc things.
Yep.
And we've seen the shot of him in the first trailer spinning around near the end at Ravenhill.
Yep.
Like near Keely and Bolg.
Yeah,
he's definitely
and
there
he's in
at
the
the
front
climax.
when that Azog's bodyguard comes running towards Dwalin.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's the shot
Okay,
made with
that's
the
the shot.
half-orcs.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So he will be there, but yeah, maybe. You know?
Yeah. Going back to Saruman, so we talked about the Palantir quite a bit.
We would.
It is the show.
We love it.
But yeah, obviously in the books, and this was picked up in the comments, that Saruman doesn't find the Palantir via Sauron. It's in Orthanc as he gets there. But you know, they don't have to do everything canon.
No, that's exactly the sort of
So-
thing that I could see them that they would change.
Yeah.
Because
Why
it
not?
doesn't.
No.
It doesn't have an impact on the Lord of the Rings film, on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings
No.
universe.
No.
I could see him doing that.
No, not at
No.
all. Not at all. Yeah, and I guess another thing is just we discussed how the film might start. You know, do they go straight into Lake Town? Presumably not. But then what do they do as something slowish to start the film?
Mm-hmm.
Larry Miller had an idea that it'd be a flashback again, like for the Bree scene.
Yeah, they've always been a flashback, haven't they?
Yes.
Fellowship's the whole prologue. Two Towers goes back to Moria. Return
Yeah.
of the King goes back to finding the ring.
Yeah.
Unexpected Journey back to Thrall.
And no, back to Bilbo and Frodo. No,
Yeah, of course.
No
Well, it's
admittance.
kind of a prologue in a prologue, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Desolation Smaug back to Bree. So they do like a flashback.
Yeah, so Larry had an idea that they might go back to the Battle of Moria as Norzabar, with Dane's character this time.
That'd be cool.
But if you're then watching it through with all the extended editions, there's a lot of flashbacks to that battle if Dane was there. And you'd kind of beg the question is why have you not even shown him before?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
I'll buy it though.
Potentially it's a flashback to Thorin going to discuss with Dane and the council before he goes to the Shire, because the key to this next film is how important the Arkenstone is.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they flash back that bit with Thorin making a pitch to Dane and the other leaders, and they could make Dane look at this leading figure amongst the other dwarves to kind of
Like the
enforce his
Dragon's Den
character.
sort of situation.
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great pun as well, Dragon's Den.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and it was intended.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that might be a good way of introducing Dane to start with.
That would be
and
cool.
the Arkenstone story, so that's an
I
idea.
mean, I don't know why I necessarily would, but I haven't heard any rumours of that. But that'd be a brilliant idea if they did do that. They kind of flashed back to the Arkenstone in the last one, though, didn't they? I don't know if it'd be too much because they made a lot of the Arkenstone this one. But
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
But it is important.
It is.
That was just an idea. It could be anything, because I don't think anyone would have predicted Thorin meeting Gandalf in Bree. So,
That was a great opener, though.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I
Was
think
it Barry O'Neill that asked if we had heard the Billy Boyd song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard it. I like it a lot. I think it reminds me a lot of Into the West, which is cool because I think that's a great song. Have you heard it?
Well, yeah, I'm deliberately not listening to it.
You want to wait? So that's
Yeah.
why we can't really talk about it because Tom won't listen to it
Yeah.
until all the credits.
Yes.
But was it Mr. Ian Marley? Because it wasn't Barry that
Potentially.
then suggested it, but somebody
Somebody
then
suggested it,
suggested
yeah.
underneath that you should then sing it in your Tariel wig.
Maybe not in the wig, but
Always
it'll
in a
probably
wig.
make an appearance.
And that's the trailer for SPG issue 2. So, yeah, look out for that and a bargain bin near you soon. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, quite a lot of various comments about the kind of movie and what it might hold, and the various bits and bobs, which is cool.
Yeah.
And we will know. Oh, what is it now?
It's not that far away. And the
Is it
premiere
2
is
weeks
1st of
Friday?
December, right? So that's pretty close.
3 weeks Friday.
Yeah.
3 weeks Friday.
But it'll be 3 weeks Saturday for us.
Yeah, so when you're watching this, we'll be seeing it 3 weeks tomorrow. You'll be seeing it 3 weeks today, some of you. How exciting.
Yeah. And yeah, we've not actually discussed the premiere yet, have we?
Whether we were going to go
Yeah.
on the 1st.
Yeah.
I'll be quite up for it.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
Yeah.
So yes, those were some of your comments. Thanks as always. Thanks for all the. There was some very nice. There was some birthday wishes as well on various videos. So cheers for them.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Had a lovely time. Got lots of Hobbit goodies. I got some Games Workshop vouchers, which I thought.
I don't know what you're going to spend them on.
No, well this was it. I thought, oh, that should get me most of the new releases. Give me the model. And it's the model. But yeah, so that's quite exciting for when that comes out.
Yeah.
So, any other news?
Other news.
Pre-big news.
Pre-big news. Can't think of.
There's loads of TV spots out. That probably happened after
Yeah, there was a
training.
couple of extra shots, but given that you can't be bothered with any more screenshots.
Oh God, no, we're not doing
in
it.
your
No,
life.
no. There's some couple. I mean, go and watch them, and then
Yeah.
you know I'll have a chat about them with you if you want at some point. But
In person, not doing screenshots on this on the Palantir.
Horrible idea. There's one of Tario screaming, and there's one of Tario in a boat with Keely and Feely, as if maybe she. That's why wasn't there? What didn't we discuss? Why they don't do any more in Lake Town?
Yes.
I think
why
maybe,
she's not shooting.
Yeah,
as well.
why she does? Maybe she leads the dwarfs away to safety or something, and maybe the kids.
Oh, and this shot of Bard with a bell. Big bell.
Yeah, that's not in the that's not in the main trailer, is it?
No.
And there was discussion on something that said the shot where we were saying he looks unheroic is essentially after he's just done the deed. And so he's kind of fallen back down. Yeah, there's a shot of him on a big high bell tower shooting his bow. And someone on the Facebook group, someone posted that and said, "What do you think he's aiming at?" And I don't think I wrote it, I went, Smaug. You know? And he's shooting him dead, I think. Oh, you don't know if I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
You know? You can't read tone on the group. But yeah, so they're worth watching.
Could have been going at bats.
Could have been aiming at a bat, yeah.
But it's not in the right bit of the story because he had this brown
coat.
coat
Brown
on.
coat on, yeah. So we know it's a Lake Town attack. So yeah, there's a few extra shots in there, which is quite, and a few I think Barney goes, "We cannot win this fight."
Yeah, something.
Things like that. So you know, if you're a giddy little nerd, you might want to go and check those out.
Or if you just enjoy watching trailers.
Yeah, but like I mean, the tiniest little TV spot in the desperate hope as an extra shot.
A few seconds worth of difference.
Yeah, well worth it for me. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, are just some of the things that are going on. I don't think there's actually been anything else. I didn't get the Battle of 5 Armies Chronicles book from us. I got the Cloak and Dagger one, so I haven't had any more spoilers from that about anything.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So a couple of topics to discuss today.
Yeah.
The first one.
The first one.
The biggie.
Big one.
Which we're all very excited about, I'm sure.
Yeah. Don't know, there's not been anything big, has there?
New models.
Lots of new models.
Lots of new models.
And the implication of lots and lots of new models.
Yeah. And quite excitingly, certainly a week before I think predicted last week. I think I said we'd see them on the 29th.
Yeah, but you were talking in terms of White Dwarf release, right?
Yeah.
So,
and they're coming out tomorrow, which is the 22nd.
Oh, will it be tomorrow?
Yeah, when this is going out. So they're coming out, is it the 22nd or 23rd? But this weekend, that White Dwarf, they won't be released, but that's when the White Dwarf will be released and they'll be pre-ordered. And I was saying that that's when they kind of get announced, and I thought they'd be a week later. So this is good
bonus.
News. Yeah, very bonus. Very bonus. So much wow. And yeah, there's loads of new elves.
Elves.
More elves.
Do
which
we
is
need
great.
more elves?
Not primarily, but
they're cool.
they are cool, and they are largely, I think, very good.
Yeah. Now, I know that James put up a video talking about these, and obviously, you know, as the channel, we can't put up any pictures. And, you know, from my point of view, I'd quite like it if they weren't leaked beforehand. I'd enjoy to just have the White Dwarf released, because you get better quality pictures, you get all the information, and it's all in one place there for you. But when it is released early, you know, you kind of feel as if you have to go and look because everyone's going to be talking about it.
It's quite exciting as well, I think.
A little bit exciting.
I think it's cool.
Big nerd.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, give it to me. Give me the pictures immediately.
Have my money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you accept overdraft money?
Better. The house needs a remortgage. So yeah, and the good news is though, now, whilst we're talking about these on Tuesday evening, it's perfectly possible when you're watching these that they're online. I think the pictures they normally go out at midnight on the Friday.
Yeah.
So like Saturday morning. But I think recently, I haven't really been following because it's all been Warhammer before we go, but I think they've been going up a bit early.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on a Friday, they might be up now. If not, they'll be up tomorrow morning. You can go onto the GW sites and have a good look at all the models.
Yeah, and will the magazines be in the stores?
Yeah,
on
White Dwarf will
Saturday?
be out tomorrow, not on the Saturday. And then everything should be able to be, I think everything will be available to pre-order at 1 minute past midnight. I think that's how it's currently working.
I mean, don't feel as if you have to stay up till 1 past midnight to pre-order it.
Although,
Do it in the morning.
perhaps this is how we get into it. One of the things that a translation, and the original list that came out on, I think, Sunday night, it was leaked, that was translated from a German copy, said, while stocks last.
Yeah.
Which is potentially it's a new thing, I think. Now, it could be a translation thing, and it could be something else, but that's odd.
Is that not in any Warhammer 40k releases?
I think it's been... They're for the things that sell out and don't come back. Things like that Void Shield generator and like limited edition army books. Now, of course, that doesn't give you any idea about how many of each version there are. You know, someone made the point that I think Escape from Goblin Town still says
limited.
Yeah, but I think what we've clearly seen is that GW have significantly scaled down their Hobbit production.
Yeah.
Since then.
But there has been a surge of interest. You'd hope.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have a chat about the models.
Yeah.
What we think about the models, what we think about the prices, what we might get, and what we think about potential profiles and what it means for the next few weeks, which is quite exciting.
Cool.
Where do you want to start?
Should we start with the heroes?
Yeah. We start with heroes.
Yeah. Hero number 1.
Da-la-la.
I'm sick of Tariel.
You go against Tariel. Yes, we have new Tariel pies, which is very exciting because
you are very excited.
I'm very excited because I've said for a long time, possibly in recent videos, that I want the new Tariel pies.
Yes.
I quite like the pies on the log, but compared to the Mirkwood Rangers, it's bulky and horrible, and it doesn't look. The face is rubbish, and it doesn't look anything like Tariel.
Yes.
So I was quite actually excited to see a Finecast version of it. Well, I know a lot of people are, and they are calling it Finecast.
Are they?
Yeah, the kind of the magazine is calling it. I'm sure they are. Where is it? That's great content. Yeah, they are. They're calling it Finecast. So they're not calling it resin. So we're not kind of getting that wrong. They are. That's how they're marketing these, the Citadel Finecast releases.
So why do you reckon they're marketing as Finecast?
No idea.
When they've marketed other ones as resin recently. Do you reckon that's because they'd already done the packaging from previous, when it was 2 films? And it's all with Finecast, they printed it. It's like, well, we don't want to change it now.
It could be. That's a pretty good idea. That might well be it, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, we get new Tariel.
Yes.
That I think is pretty fantastic.
It's a cool looking model.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the first one.
Yeah, she looks a lot more slender.
Yeah.
The face is a lot more toned, especially around the cheeks.
Yeah, and I think, again, the fact it doesn't look necessarily like her is more down to the paint job.
Yeah.
I think you could do more with that.
Yeah.
And it's a very dynamic pose with the cloaks, which you've seen a lot of in the Hobbit
releases. how she's holding her 2 daggers.
Yeah, it looks to me more like I wanted Terry to look.
Yeah.
It's still not exactly the kind of pose I had in my head that I was hoping for, but that's obviously going to be very unlikely.
Yeah.
And I think she's cool.
It's nice. It's just the question of whether you go for that if you've already got the original model and have painted it. That's my dilemma.
So I will go for it on her.
Yeah, I know you will.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I will because it'd just be so far down the painting list.
My issue is that this year I'm taking pure fun stuff to tournaments.
Yeah.
So I will want to be taking Tario. So I think I'll want to paint up a new Tario.
Okay.
The battery's going to run out.
Oh, on the camera.
Yeah. Not on Tario.
Not on Tario. You moved the camera.
Sorry.
And we're back.
Hey.
Hey. Tario.
Tario indeed.
So yeah,
Alright.
yeah. So it's a cool model.
Yeah, and she is £15, I believe.
Yes.
So, bit of price creep.
What was Legolas? The old
Well,
Legolas,
yeah, actually, it's not price creep for Tario because the plastic ones were 15 quid,
Yeah.
but the fine cost here, I think, Thranduil was 12 quid.
Yeah.
But Bayonne was 15. So, a little bit of price creep,
Yeah.
but in this day and age, I think
Probably
acceptable.
inevitable.
Last year you paid 15 quid for Tario, this year you paid 15 quid for Tario.
Yeah.
And for, I think, a better version,
Yeah.
personally.
So it's fine.
So, yes. Interestingly,
Mhm.
the first of the new releases
Mhm.
to have a different name.
Yes.
She's called Tariel Mirkwood Exile.
So that's in itself interesting
Why is that, Thomas?
because of the Thranduil shot so expertly taken in the trailer breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially Thranduil gets really mad and banishes her from Mirkwood
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yes. And what that would mean...
Fraternising with dwarves.
Indeed, just fraternising. Someone said in the comments...
Yeah.
we missed that, sorry,
Yeah,
I
we
enjoyed
missed
that. That someone said they find it really funny every time I defend...
Kind of
every time I deny
yeah.
their romance, and I sound like one of those psychos who pretends they're not in love with a girl they really like.
who they stalk.
Yeah. So
and the big twist will be that Damian kills Keely.
I kill Keely to stop the romance. Yeah, absolutely. That's who kills Keely in the Battle of 5 Armies. It's me.
So yeah.
Yeah. But what it means is potentially when they change the name, is to give them a different profile.
So what do you reckon would be different about a profile? Do you reckon she'll have some Keely based rule?
Well, smoochy.
Or some Thranduil based rule?
I was wondering if maybe, given the fact that she's a Mirkwood exile,
Mhm.
she's an independent hero.
Ooh, good shout.
Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So what's going to make her better than the old one that means you should take her? Because she's independent, but you need some bonus to take her. Because she's not good already.
Don't know. James suggested maybe she'd have less fate,
Maybe, yeah.
but then you still need an advantage to her. I don't know.
Yeah,
But the fundamental thing is giving her a different name in the same way they did it for Balin the dwarf
Yeah.
instead of Balin son of Fundin. And there's other examples as well, aren't there? There's a few, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh, in The Hobbit?
Yeah. There's definitely a couple of other profiles where they change the name, which means they can give them different rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems to be possibly the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's a cool model.
Yeah.
I like it. I think other people might.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you want to do the heroes.
Yes.
So next up,
It's cool.
we have Legolas again. Legolas Greenleaf, Prince of Mirkwood,
Yeah. And he's mounted.
mounted.
So 2 models.
Foot mounted for £27.
Yeah, which is a lot.
There's a lot, but again, only £2 more than the foot mounted packs for the Hobbit.
And not that far off how much you'd pay for Legolas footed mounted on eBay.
No, I mean that's
Currently.
possibly the major draw of this for a lot of people. That people, the Legolas mounted has been out of production for a long time, and now you can get hold of one.
But it's different to the old Legolas.
Why is it different?
It's cool.
It's cool.
Legolas has
It's
Orcrist.
Orcrist. So
I'm really pleased about this, by the way, because I asked this on a Speak Friend and Question, a long time ago, oh, do you think Games Workshop will make a profile for Legolas with Orcrist? Jamie and James were like, no.
And I'm going to put my hand up, as I also said no to this on, not definitively, but that I didn't think so. A lot of people have asked this over the year, and the common argument was always like, Aragorn picks up a flaming brand, but he doesn't get that as an option. So not
Gets it as a model though.
Yeah, so not everything a character picks up should be in their wargear.
But
it looks very much like he's got Legolas. No,
he's got Orcrist, which would make him incredible.
Like,
Can you imagine
as if he needed it. As if everyone's going, Legolas, he's weak.
Now causes terror.
Torts
goblins, and causes double wounds, and it's an elven blade, which he doesn't.
D3 wounds.
Yeah, D3 wounds, and it's an elven blade, which he doesn't usually have.
Yep.
Because the elven daggers he has don't count in the ties of a fight.
Yep. So that's fun.
Maybe they should give him some extra special rules as well, given these names changed.
Maybe Prince of Mirkwood doesn't have the shooting rank.
Maybe, which would be cool.
In the Haldir sense.
Yeah.
There's an example for Haldir. Haldir and Haldir Defenders of Helm Deep.
Yeah.
Different profiles.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't, but then that's the big draw of Legolas. But maybe they give him 3 attacks. So take away his shooting. They won't take away his shooting.
But maybe he can still fire 3 times, but he doesn't have his auto.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Excited about this one anyway. And
what do you think of the model?
So the horse one's really cool. The horse is running forward, Legolas kind of looking forward with Orcrist hung back. He's just kind of galloping. I think that's cool. The foot one, I like it. It's very much actually like the Thorin pose from the Unexpected Journey book that hasn't been released.
One,
he's in a very kind of striding forward with the sword held aloft.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not as keen on it, but I think it potentially might be the angle.
I think it's hard to tell.
See it changing.
It's hard to tell his face from that angle, but I think it's fine.
The thing for me on that, I've got Legolas mounted already. Mm-hmm. This is probably my least likely to buy thing.
Okay.
Because you can put an Orcrist on a Legolas.
Yeah, you can.
That's the only difference. He's not dressed dramatically different.
No.
So you could get a little plastic Orcrist from Escape from Goblin Town.
Yeah.
Put it on a Legolas if you really want him. But yeah, big implications for the game there, I think.
Yeah.
And again, what's interesting is having these new profiles all but confirms there'll be a new sourcebook.
Yeah, which is excellent.
Yeah. Because almost everything that's released this week would need new rules.
Exactly. And the way they did the last one with, new scenarios, points wise, but also the journey through the films. And that they're a bit wrong relative to what played out in the film because they did it previously. But it'd be really cool to have that.
Yeah.
Really, that'd be something that I'm looking forward to an awful lot if that is to come.
I'm very, very optimistic,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also a bit nervous. The scenery as well, hang on. That scenery's different. I hadn't even noticed that.
Different to what?
Well, that's not Ruins of Osgiliath.
No, it's not.
They've got so that means at least probably meant to be Ruins of Dale or something.
Yeah.
The photos that the models are in, guys.
But it doesn't necessitate that they'll sell it.
No, it doesn't mean they're not going to sell it, but it means they've made something else for it.
Oh, you mean they might have a battle report?
But yeah, something else.
Yeah.
What else they could do this year, which they wouldn't have done last year, the rules could be in White Dwarf. And it depends if you see that as a good thing or a bad thing. Because then, I'm still, later. I don't want to sound, I think I just said, I don't want to sound negative, but I'm still cautiously pessimistic about it. I just, until I see this, I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But there's a little part of me is going, I really hope it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what they could do is just have profiles in White Dwarf now. And so
it'd take up quite a bit of space though if you did all of them. Like that's a lot in 1 week.
Yeah. There was a comment from someone who said that they actually didn't think that they were going to be in this week's one because they saw the cover and it didn't say anything about the Hobbit on it.
Mm.
And there's a big long thread on Facebook that I haven't actually read, it went on this evening, where someone was saying...
Was that with the Void Shield generator or whatever it was?
That was the last copy, that was the last one, that was when the Gundabats came out, and that was when they were on the cover. Yeah. The little Hobbit thing.
Okay.
They were saying, then there's no mention of them on the cover of this week's White Dwarf.
So maybe it's
a big new release. Well, they were saying, why wouldn't they mention it? And it is a bit... You kind of think they've got this big... some mention of it. But the only thing I was thinking is, they've got a big End Times book, another fantasy End Times book on the front, which is obviously their big money seller. And because they're now weekly releases, it was so disappointing last year when the big monthly Desolation of Smaug release didn't make the cover.
No.
But this year it's weekly. And if you imagine there's going to be another week, and then so this Saturday tomorrow is the 22nd.
Yeah.
There's going to be another Saturday, it's the 29th. Another Saturday is about the 6th.
Yeah.
And that's the one before the film comes out.
Yeah.
So I reckon maybe that Saturday, like the week of the film release,
They do a big.
that might be the big Middle Earth issue where maybe they release a source book or something.
Yeah.
And they put it on the cover and really try and draw
So
it
that's-
into
yeah.
that, because they can really target their marketing
Yeah.
weekly in
Yeah.
a way they couldn't monthly,
True.
potentially.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I know Jamie's deeply excited about that happening.
Legolas with Orcus.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
Next up, gorgeous model.
Yeah.
The Mirkwood Armoured Captain.
Yeah, he looks. I mean, when I first glanced at this, I thought it was Thranduil.
Yeah, me too, because it looks like Thranduil.
Because it looks like Thranduil, and he just looks great.
Yeah, it's a fantastic model. It'd also make a really good Haldir, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the armour's obviously not quite right because it's for the Mirkwood.
But
Yeah.
it's the same colour scheme, it looks great. He's wielding, as we'll come on to later with the troop types, a
Two-handed spear.
two-ended spear, which I think James mentioned that they might have different rules for.
Yeah,
I'm
potentially.
inclined to agree. Wood
Yeah.
elf spears have a different rule, so why wouldn't you? The Mirkwood spears should probably have a different rule.
That makes sense, because elves need as many extra rules as they can get.
Maybe it
but
just makes them worse.
the worst thing about that is, when I looked at the release list, I was like, well, the only thing I'm not getting is the Armoured Captain.
Yeah.
And seeing that model, it's like, it's
You
gorgeous.
want to get it.
But there has never been a reason in any of the elf army
for
lists
fluff.
to ever use an unnamed captain. Is that
No.
possibly a Rivendell Knight?
Yeah, and the issue is that, even if you're playing a fluffy build, why would you put the captain in? You'd put the named heroes in.
The heroes are fluffy.
But you could just get him and have him as a normal warrior, because he looks so cool.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking that I can't believe I'm already cutting up these models I've seen, but I'm thinking of trying to convert him into Thranduil. He just needs a little green stuff headband and then swap his arms over for the weapons.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think that could be done.
But he looks great. I want him just from the point of view that he looks great.
I think he is £12. And talking of the big man,
Yeah, Thranduil.
Thranduil.
Now, this is the most interesting for many different reasons.
Mm.
Of
Why is that?
The releases. Well, for one, he's not wearing the armour that we see him wearing in the trailer.
No, probably. Well, maybe he is. Maybe the top is. It's the cloak. Bottom part.
yeah.
He's got a longer armour thing in the
Yeah.
trailer, I think.
Yeah.
The top looks right.
The colour scheme's not quite right though, is
Yeah,
it?
I mean, maybe some of that's to do as well, the colour scheme.
Yeah. But
He also looks, for my money, less like Thranduil than the Armoured Captain.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could do a little head swap in there, but the hair, for my skill level, the hair's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
What do you think of the model on foot?
We were saying earlier, it's a really dynamic pose.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I mean, the cloak's billowing behind him, he's got 2 blades, big elven blades. It's a cool model.
It's a very cool model, which is the one people were after. Like
Yeah.
having him in his armour from in the Hobbit depiction, which is cool. I like it looks ever so potentially slightly clunky to me.
Yeah, it depends when you rotate it, because obviously
absolutely.
we've only got one 2-dimensional shot of it. How he looks from behind is, you can't really tell with the cloak billowing and what exact angles the sword's at. But I think it looks cool.
And then we get, at long last, as everyone's wanted, Thranduil mounted.
Yeah.
Woo! Which is very exciting.
But there's a problem.
There's a problem.
There's a problem. He's riding a horse.
He's riding a horse.
Why is he riding a horse, Damien?
I don't know, Thomas. He should be riding a great big elk.
Yeah.
Or a moose. Or a car. He should not
Anything
be
but a
anything but a horse. He has
it's very odd.
He's not been on a horse at any point
No.
in the Hobbit trilogy.
Apart from when he was filming.
Yes. And this is one of my I'm not being negative, but one of the little alarm bells that goes off my head that Lee Pace, when he filmed his scenes as Thranduil, he filmed them riding a horse. But would you believe it? They didn't put him on an elk. Yeah. And then obviously the elk was CGI'd over the top.
Yeah.
Which means maybe at some point in the design process he was meant to ride a horse. And then they went, let's make it an elk, that'd be cool. But that is a long time ago. At the very least, it's about November 2012 because you see the elk in the prologue for An Unexpected Journey.
Yeah.
And if they haven't adapted, GW haven't adapted their models to digital changes since 2012, which as of yet we haven't seen anything of. Like even Desolation Smaug releases, what do we have, like Rangers,
No
Palace Guard, no new Bolg, like just the basic dwarfs, the basic actors. It worries me whether or not we'll be seeing any of the kind of digital creatures, the trollopults, as they've been dubbed.
Trollopults.
Yeah, the trolls with catapults on.
The troll captain.
Yeah. It just, that sends, bizarrely enough, and a lot of people say you're overreacting, and possibly I am, but seeing a model like that makes me think, well, why?
Yeah.
There's nothing anywhere in the films to suggest he ever rides a horse.
The only rationale I can think for releasing that is that that was what originally he was going to do. They made a model for it like the Gundabad General model, and they're just going to release it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not? They've made it. They presumably made them for the second film, already done the casts, they've got them ready to ship, hence the fine cast name, blah de blah. They just release it. And then they release an elk one like the Bayonne thing a few months later and be like, surprise, now you've all bought this one.
Well, there's a certain element that they would have to change some of the packaging because it will say the Battle of Five Armies now. Where it would have said there and back again. I don't know.
Ruin my...
But, for all that,
yeah,
it's a lovely model.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous,
the
gorgeous
one on the horse
place.
is great.
It's
I think he's only got one sword on that one, but he's got his sword up.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Rearing the horse.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely love it. And of course, you then start thinking, because he's now, isn't he, he's got a different name as well, isn't he? King of the Woodland Realm or something.
Like that.
As opposed to King of Mirkwood, which applies to a different profile. Again, this is showing that there will have to be a different profile because he needs an option for a horse.
Yes.
Or an elk.
Yeah.
And of course, you start thinking, bigger Nature's Wrath.
Yes.
And ride to where I want to be, Nature's Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? That could really potentially open up for Andrew.
Very good.
Yeah.
I think he's opened up already. He's very good.
Yeah, he's great already, and giving him a mount of whatever kind.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely...
armour. He'll be defence 6.
He's already defence 6, isn't he?
He's 5.
Yeah, of course he's in the Hobbit, he's 4 and then he goes to 5. Yeah, it'll definitely be 6. Yeah, with that sort of gear out. So, yeah, great to see.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you just mentioned then that maybe did you say maybe they'll do a bit Bayonne on us?
Yeah, that was my thought on it.
That you do a twin pack,
Yeah.
and then a bit down the line,
You release one.
Thranduil just on elk.
Just
Maybe the profile has horse and elk option.
Yeah. So that's what we need to wait for, the profile really, to tell us whether they'll bring something out.
Maybe you'll see it in White Dwarf. Who knows? So yes, those are the heroes.
Yeah,
So
that's
4 elf heroes.
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
and
I mean, you'll have seen now that we're talking just about elves, so it bodes well in terms of they're going to do themed releases every week. Elves first, and hopefully orcs. 2 lots of orcs maybe, even, depending.
yeah, it really depends.
Dol Guldur and Gundabad. Don't know.
New
I mean, we've got
please.
Gundabad orcs. Yeah, please, new. That if you're going to get one evil model, that's the one you want.
Yeah, because
For the scenario play.
you really, you need him for the Desolation of Smaug scenarios really to kind of, bring them up to date really, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we're hoping for. We also chatted about how in the past about how the Gundabad orcs were actually brought out, like the Finecast ones were brought out. If you look at the Desolation of Smaug source books, to be the Battle of Dimrill Dale orcs.
Yeah, because they're shown potentially once in the film as a very quick flash as they're walking.
Desolation of Smaug.
Yes. But yeah, there was nothing released. Well, nothing termed the Battle of Moria type army.
No, and those having a profile is not justified by their coverage in Desolation of Smaug.
And Barling calls them Gundabad orcs.
Yeah.
spiel about what they are.
Which then potentially means we might get different kind of
Gundabad
Dark
orcs.
Gordor orcs
Yeah.
for the third film, potentially.
Yeah.
So I suppose the good news about this is you only have to wait a week to find out now.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait a month. It's not to say we're guaranteed week releases every week, but you'd have to think you will be for a few.
Yeah. I
So
mean, they've got to do it whilst the buzz for the film's going on. I mean, for them, the weekly marketing should help them.
Yeah.
In that respect.
So that's the 4 heroes,
Yes.
which leads us on to the warriors,
Yes.
which are armoured elven warriors.
Yeah, and there's 3 flavours.
Mm-hmm.
Bowmen, double-headed spearmen, and sword and
blades
shield.
and swords.
Yeah, elven blades, unbladed shield.
And what's going to crush a lot of people about these is they too are fine cost.
Yeah, so like the Gundabad and Lake Town releases.
So
It's an expensive army to collect.
entirely expected, I have to say, based on the last few releases.
Yeah.
Like we've been through this. Anything, it certainly seems that they, again, in answering to that thread, they did go out of their way to support it the first year. Like if you look at the investment in plastic in the first year, it was fantastic. And that would include the Mirkwood Rangers and Palace Guard.
Yeah.
Because they were made for 2 films. And then the sales clearly didn't live up to their expectations.
No.
And everything sculpted since then has been fine cost.
Yeah.
So it's not to say we won't get any plastics in the coming weeks, but
It's unlikely.
the elves are the main army.
Mm.
If you look at the trailers, they're the main good army. They're the main constituent of the good army at the Battle of 5 Armies.
And they're not in plastic.
If there was going to be anything plastic, it had to be them.
Yeah, and the major issue is that it's hugely frustrating from a player point of view because it's just so difficult to amass enough to make a proper Battle of 5 Armies.
Jay will do it.
Yeah, yeah. If you work for GW and get a discount,
Pay to win Elf.
Elf Town.
They're gorgeous models.
Yeah,
They're really nice.
They're worth getting, but it's just at maximum you're going to get 2 warbands because that's £120
Yeah.
for 2 warbands, which is a lot of money.
Yeah. For 24 models.
Yeah.
And they are really
They're
nice
awesome models. They're all really cool.
They're really cool poses.
Great single poses.
Yeah. They're all very, very nice. But you just can't help thinking there's a box of Palace Guard for a fraction
30
of that
quid.
price. Yeah.
For 10.
They 30? I thought
Something like
25.
I mean,
I think they're 25.
no, I thought they went up. Oh no, it was 25 for 10 as a. No,
Yeah.
I think it did go up to 30.
I don't know.
It
They're
doesn't
less
matter.
than that.
But I mean, everyone thought the Palace Guard were expensive, but you still got a few of them.
Yeah. But they are gorgeous. They are really, really nice models.
They're called Mirkwood Armoured Swordsmen or Spearmen or whatever. So obviously different profiles. How do you think they'll be? Do you think they'll have a bit of the Mirkwood Ranger rules?
No,
or
I
any
think
of the Palace Guard rules, or completely separate?
I think there'll be a new troop type, basically like Glathren Warriors, but they'll have one special rule.
Well, they'll be Defence 6, right? Because they've got the Palace Guard with Defence 6.
Yeah.
And they're as armoured as
Yeah, I
Palace Guard.
suppose, yeah, maybe.
So Defence 6, so that would be like a High Elf.
Yeah.
What would separate them from a High Elf? Maybe just the
they'll-
spear rule?
They'll have one special rule, because all of the troops do, don't they?
Mhm.
All of the
Hobbit troops.
Hobbit warriors have got like a special rule.
Or a special weapon.
Yeah.
Like the
The spears will probably have something.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for them to, like, maybe they count as spears and two-handed weapons,
Yeah.
or...
And maybe they make the archers 2+.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. There'll be a reason taken, but I think that shows that they're also going to have to fiddle with the army list a bit,
Mhm.
because that clearly implies that army list is 33% bow limit.
Yeah.
So,
It can't be the same as the...
no, or it
Mirkwood
becomes
list.
Mirkwood Rangers in this army list, ignore the
Mm.
bow limit.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, which I wasn't necessarily expecting as well,
Mhm.
is that, as well as those 3 sets of warriors,
Yeah.
we have some knights.
Yeah. Mirkwood Cavalry.
Yeah.
We don't know what these are called because you only get a shot of the models. They look awesome.
They're incredible models.
There's 2 of them, so you'd expect it's either a clan pack of 1 or 2 models.
And they're almost certainly fine cost.
And almost certainly
We
expensive.
don't know, but everything else is.
What do you reckon? £15
I don't
for
know.
one? 20 for two?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? What's the Son of Ale these days? They're like 12 quid.
12, yeah. But Rohan Royal Guards, no, £8.20. £8.20.
Yeah, of course. Because the foot and mounted packs were £25, but they were for heroes, which are traditionally more expensive, so maybe £10 each. Something like that.
They look awesome though.
It'll probably be in a box of two, like the spiders.
Yeah. But we've not seen Elven Cavalry in the trailers.
There's
It was just Thranduil and Bard mounted,
a
wasn't
little shot in one of the backgrounds where you can see them.
it? Okay.
Like in one of the, I think it's in the first teaser trailer, where the Gandalf's in front of the elves, right at the back, you can just see a few white horse heads. So that's probably what they are. So again, that army, Thranduil's army, is getting quite dynamic.
Yeah.
And
No,
quite.
it's a really cool army, but it's like I said, it's going to be difficult to create a big one.
Yeah, it is because
On a budget.
we were. What did you work it out?
It's about 150 quid if you want one of each release. We don't really know how much the cavalry.
Yeah, we estimated them.
It's about £150.
£150. That's
for one of each figure.
That's 9 warriors, two of the cavalry,
11, yeah. Tariel 12.
and then the 4 heroes.
Yeah, and then plus 13 and 4, 17
It's about that,
models.
which is a huge investment.
Yeah, it's almost £10 a model.
And what is frustrating for me about this is that's a week.
Yeah.
When it was a monthly release, you'd go, alright, I'll get that. Where it's like,
You could kind of plan your budget.
they're saying while stocks last, so there's a kind of, I should probably buy these in case they go out of production.
Yeah.
But it's like, then they're going to release that many orcs.
Yeah.
And that many dwarfs.
Yeah.
And you're still talking about things that you hope are going to come, like, Smaug and the battle chariot and the big trolls.
Yeah. It's really tough knowing what to get.
They can't, if they're doing Smaug can't be in fine cost.
No. It'd be like £1,000, please.
So, it's cool that they've done it as a wave of a race,
Yes.
I think. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of elves there. There's a lot of models for one race, which hopefully means next week there'll be a lot of dwarfs.
Yes.
And a lot of orcs and so on. But equally, for my money, there's just a few worrying bits there. There's just a few little bits that
Thranduil, and more just how you're going to create the Battle of Five Armies with the prices that they're going to be at.
Yeah, I mean,
for warriors.
Yeah, the reality is, if you're doing the Battle of Five Armies, we've tried a few times over the last year where your hero points costs are so huge, you don't have many warriors anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a shame.
But we think the models themselves are great.
I think the models are absolutely beautiful, and I'll
probably get them.
I'll probably get everything, maybe except Legolas. I think.
I
Maybe
think
I'll
I'm
leave the
gonna
Knights,
try
even
that.
though I like the Knights. I don't necessarily see a place for
Because
them.
imagine you've then got to get the dismounts right.
No, they don't have shields either.
They don't have shields.
Whereas the foot versions do have shields.
Who knows? But yeah, they're cool. They're really, really good, and I'll be ordering some of them this time tomorrow, I'm sure. And I'll be very, very intrigued to open up that White Dwarf and see what it says about the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Because it will say something, and maybe we will get some profiles.
Yeah, maybe we will.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not that unlike. I think we've got to be grateful for what we've got, and because they moved to a weekly schedule, they've done this for fantasy, where it's not unusual to release models without rules now. They often release a wave of models, and then they release the army book a week or even 2 weeks later. So this isn't out of character. What is massively, massively out of character for GW these days is that it's fine cast.
Yeah.
There's been no Warhammer or 40k fine cast releases in possibly over a year now. It's only The Hobbit.
Yeah. And I think that's just a legacy thing of them splitting it.
Yeah. So that's the worry though, isn't it? If this was all... Because that's the other thing. All of these things are all... The same way there's stuff for Desolation Smaug, they're all actors in outfits that would have been designed very early on.
Yeah.
They're not... There's nothing digital or new or last minute seeing something like Thranduil makes me think if they release a new Azog for the a new Azog model, he's not going to be an arm with a sword arm.
No.
Things like that. But I'll have to.
It must be hugely frustrating as an organisation like Games Workshop to then be messed around at the final minute.
Yeah.
When you've got to spend time producing and all the like.
But I just think the difference because they had those issues back in the Lord of the Rings though, but then they were clearly it was doing well for them. They were heavily invested in its success, and so we're then putting more resources into developing it. Whereas now it's like if we get a new Azog model, I'm not convinced there'll then be another Azog model in 4 months' time that has the armour and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. This sounds a bit negative, I think.
Yeah.
But the models are incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
And it's great. And there's definitely some new scenery going on there. Like they've built something new.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So I hope we'll see some more of that, and there'll be some bat reps and some coverage, and maybe a big new juicy source book will come out. You'll know when the source book comes out. That's how you'll know what models you get.
Yeah.
But
that'll be the last release you'd expect.
Yeah, but then if you open up the source book and there's not a Smaug profile,
or an armour for Azog,
and
a
troll with a catapult on its back. And there's been, I think after the trailer, there was talk of all the worms and stuff, the big moles and the serpents and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
I just get a model for them.
Well, I just don't know how big a deal they are in the movie. But yeah. So there they are.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get?
I think the majority of stuff bar Tauriel probably. Yeah. And then Legolas is a bit indulgent. Got Legolas. But probably will just because it's cool with Ulchrist.
I think I'll be putting in a big order to Slayer.
Yeah.
And then with Christmas coming, I've got some GW vouchers for my birthday. With Christmas coming, I think I'll get some of the stuff at a discount and then essentially flog it to parents and family members. At the discounted rate, obviously. But as stocking fillers and that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get it on release weekend with the discount and then say, if anyone wants to give me a present, get some of these things and hope to stem the cost a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I just want to get involved as much as I can at this, what I think is going to be the last big wave of releases.
Yeah.
Just try and make the most of it.
Yeah.
So they are cool models. Well done. I think they fit in well with the other one.
Yeah, and Hobbit as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the tricky bit is that, they can put it in Finecast and they make a huge margin on the Finecast troops, but on the flip side, that are they going to make more by selling fewer packs of Finecast?
No.
Or more selling more plastic sets?
No, of course not.
So,
Well,
I don't know how good an idea it is.
Look at 2 years ago and you've got a box of Rivendell Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Look how successful they've been.
Yeah.
And now you got 2 of them for probably
the same price.
It's not going to be dissimilar, are they?
You're going to get 2 of them instead of 5 Rivendell Knights.
Yeah. But all I care about really is the source book. I want the options
And the bulk.
Yeah, but
those kind of things.
This is promising for me. There are more elf models than I thought there would be already. So that's great. It's like
we weren't expecting the cavalry.
Not
definitely not.
It's good to see that kind of
Legolas
range.
with Ulchrist.
Yeah. And so that then implies you'll get a good range of other models as well.
Now Legolas has Ulchrist there. He had it against Bolg in Lake Town.
Mm-hmm.
But when we see him in the trailer doing his he has his 2 daggers. So he must lose Ulchrist.
Must lose Ulchrist, yeah. Maybe, if that's all going on in Ravenhill, maybe Thorin gets it back to fight Azog with.
Ooh, we've not actually looked at
I don't think he's got it. I think he's just got a dwarf sword.
You sure?
I think, I'm not sure. I think he has. But,
might be something to look at slow-mo for him.
I don't want to look at that trailer anymore.
Damien's going to flash up 50 screenshots for you.
Damien is not. So a big old range of models there for you.
Yeah, hope you're all excited. We are, even though we sound a little bit pessimistic about some things.
It's also, this is the whole point of this show, that this is the first time we've chatted about it.
Yeah.
So this isn't our kind of fully formed opinions on
No,
should
it's
you or
a-
shouldn't you. This is us just chatting exactly how we're reacting to this stuff. And fundamentally, I believe, you know, I'll be buying a lot of it because in a few years' time there won't be you know, this game won't be available, there won't be films, and you won't be buying new stuff. So I want to go out and support it as much as I possibly can whilst I can.
Yes.
And I would hope that you'll support your Hobbit hobby and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So there you go, lots of new models. It's finally started happening. Hooray.
Hooray.
Hooray indeed.
Yeah.
Alright, so that is us. We're at the hour mark again,
Yeah.
and that is us for another week. Obviously, it goes without saying, there are other topics, and where we see good topics in the comments, we're kind of squirreling them away for the future. But I think it goes without saying that what everyone's kind of excited about at the moment is the
New films, new models.
Yeah, new toys. So that will probably, you know, be forming the majority of what we're talking about in the next few weeks. But you know,
But we will fit in topics when we can, and yeah, they definitely won't be ignored. We'll come back to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely some good ones that we've got down.
So please let us know below what you think of the new releases.
Yeah.
What you're going to be picking up, what you won't be picking up, what you think their new special rules will be, and we'll have a little discussion of that next week.
Yeah.
As ever, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit hobby. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
And happy strategy battle gaming.